Welcome to the DSA Going Forward update on the 11th of June 2021. We'll be talking about DSEngage, DS Active, work that's been going on in the last 2 weeks with government, a little bit about training. We'll catch up with Our Voice and with WorkFit, and we'll talk about the website and some celebrity interviews, 2 of those today. Okay. Over to you, Sharon.
Hi, good morning, everybody. So we have been having plenty of fun with DSEngage this week. Had one of our favorite, most requested specials, as well as all the usual exciting events. So in our ambition to keep people busy, active, healthy, meeting other people, having fun, lots of people are joining in and lots of people are achieving that. So just to remind you, we have now a completely blended approach. There's lots and lots of films on our YouTube channel. You can watch at any time. You can get up, do yoga, do dance, do a workout, do a fitness challenge. Or if you feel like something slightly more relaxing, you can do cooking, you can do crafts. There's plenty of things to join in with. And still new videos being posted every week. So even if you've done everything so far, there'll be new stuff coming out between Monday to Friday. And if that's not enough, we have a whole weekly program of live Zoom events, which I think are even more fun. You get to do all the fun activities, but see your friends at the same time, say hi to them and catch up a bit, whilst you're also doing workouts and dance and lots of other things. So do join in and you will never be disappointed. But just to let you know what people have enjoyed this week particularly, the next slide has some nice little photos I hope you can see. This was Singing Hands, our pop party, which was on Tuesday just gone, which was a lovely event. We literally had people of all ages, from young children right through to adults. And Singing Hands are great entertainers. So everybody joined in, everybody had so much fun and really enjoyed it. And as always, the minute it finished, people want to know when the next one will be. So I hope you can see people there joining in, having fun. And the next slide was just one of the comments we received after the event, which I was really happy to see, from our mum, who said this was the first live session that her son has attended. He loves Singing Hands and they were great at welcoming him, talking to him personally. It was a lot of fun, which is absolutely true. So Daniel's going to be back for more of the after school sessions. So well done to everyone who's squeezing in things now around school or college or whatever, but it was lovely to see you there. And the next slide will just remind you, this is our timetable of everything. We don't want anyone to miss anything. So you can look at the timetable, follow all the live events, make sure you sign up, and then you'll get your link and you can join in with all the rest of us. It would be great. Sorry, excuse me. And then this weekend, our weekend bonus. This is going to be a lovely weekend, nice and sunny. So it has to be your weekend for going outside and having a lovely walk. So go to our website, download one of the daily walk sheets. There's plenty of them now. And I thought I'll throw in my own extra challenge. I love this quote. If you see someone without a smile, give them one of yours. So add that in as your challenge. As you're walking along, see how many people you can see who are walking past you and not smiling. And if you say good morning and give them a nice big smile, they will definitely smile back at you. And then that means you've cheered yourself up and you cheer them up too. So let me know how you get on. Count how many people you can force into a smile. I know it's harder for us who live down in London because there are quite a few grumpy people. It will be a lot easier if you live, a bit more out of London, but let's see, give ourselves a challenge. Okay, and then the next slide, just to remind you, we have some more specials coming up. This one, July, Tuesday the 6th of July, I'm really looking forward to seeing people there. Lots of people requested that we do Zumba. And Zumba is quite hard to call Zumba for all sorts of weird licensing reasons. So our summer salsa is as close as we can get to Zumba without having to pay for a license. But the lady who's going to teach it for us is a Zumba teacher. So she knows what she's doing. She knows Zumba moves. It will be all Latin dance, lots of moves. Again, for all ages, all abilities, you can join in, have fun. So please book up your place on the website and I'll see you there. And our clay course, a brand new thing, started yesterday evening at 7 p.m. So we've got a group of people who now for 4 weeks are going to be doing clay modeling. And at the end of the 4 weeks, I can't wait to see what they've made. So we're looking forward to seeing that very soon. So that's DSEngage. Now DS Active is also back. Lots of local clubs are back. People are playing football, people are playing tennis in their local areas, which is great. But there's also some festivals coming up quickly, as you can see. But if you live anywhere near any of these places and you'd like to try out a different sport, then please do get in touch and let us know, and then you can get along and try something new with other people as well. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Sharon. And now to Julian.
Good morning, everybody. Just an update on some of the activities that have taken place over the last couple of weeks. This week was quite an important week because we attended a meeting of the APPG, which is the all-party parliamentary group on learning disabilities. So this is where members of Parliament at Westminster come and engage with partners from across the sector. So lots of charities that support children and adults with a learning disability take part in that, and it's chaired by an MP from the Forest of Dean, who was a former disabled persons minister and is now the COVID recovery group chair. So this particular meeting this time was focused on how individuals with a learning disability have been affected by COVID-19, by the pandemic, particularly the sort of impact it's had on their services. So we were able to put questions to the panel prior to the meeting, and then we were asked to actually ask these live, and we managed to get 2 questions in. So we raised the issue about individuals with a learning disability who live in supported living settings. This is something that we've discussed quite a lot over the last year or so at these updates, that the government has been quite slow in issuing guidance to supported living settings. And in the absence of that, what settings are doing is using guidance that relates to care homes, which are very, very strict, very rigid, understandably. And it's trying to strike that balance between obviously keeping everybody safe, which is our main priority, but also recognizing that particularly now individuals with Down syndrome will hopefully have had their vaccine. We need to be moving back to people being able to resume all the activities that they enjoy and have regular contact with family and friends. So we raised that and asked that to be addressed as quickly as possible. And also then asked a supplementary question about how quickly or our concern over the delay in some local authorities restarting their regular programs of daytime activities. We've heard through our helpline quite a number of individuals and their families who are struggling because they're still being told that, you know, there's a pause and we're hoping to restart. And of course, things are beginning now to reopen. And we want everybody to have that choice. If people are happy and they feel confident now that they've been vaccinated, hopefully that they want to go back to work or to their regular activities through day services, then we want that to be able to happen. So we were quite pleased at the opportunity to be able to raise those issues. And then I think the next slide talks about quite an interesting news item that people may have seen. It's been covered in the press and on television updates, that the UK regulator has now analysed safety data that relates to COVID vaccines for children under the age of 16. And the reassuring data is that that seems to be quite safe. There weren't any concerns identified about the safety of younger people having vaccines for COVID-19. But the joint Committee on Vaccination and Immunisation haven't yet made a decision whether that's going to be rolled out in the UK. So we engaged very quickly with the committee and put forward the request that they look at the data that relates to younger children who have Down syndrome, where some of the data from our global study, we've been part of the T21 RS study that's been looking at data around the world, which is quite reassuring in that thankfully there have been very few deaths of children who have Down syndrome, but there is a higher chance of children being hospitalized with COVID. So they make a good recovery, but they do end up having to go into hospital. So we feel it's important that younger children, children under the age of 16, are given the opportunity to have a vaccine if they and their families feel that that's what they wish to have. So we've put that forward to the JCVI, who are meeting, I think, actually on Wednesday. So as soon as we have an update on that, we'll be able to share one of these weekly updates. And then some people may have followed a campaign. We're members of the Disabled Children's Partnership, which again is a collection of various charities that support disabled children. And they've been looking at the impact, particularly around education provision for children, disabled children during the pandemic. You know, schools have been closed, and that's had a very difficult impact for many individuals who might find online learning very difficult. And we want to make sure that all of the recovery plans that are put in place do particularly focus on children who have an additional learning need. And there's a campaign where they're asking all of the MPs across the country to sign up as disabled children's champions. And there's a link there, and you know, the various hashtags in Twitter that you can share. And we've obviously signed up to that campaign and are part of that strategy. And then a little bit of news relating to our work in Wales. We regularly engage with Welsh Government, and at the moment they are writing a race equality action plan for Wales. And they wanted to engage with charities across the nation to make sure that we work with them in making sure that all of the services that we provide are open and accessible to people from all communities. And so we were very pleased to be part of that work that went on earlier this week. And we'll be following that as we move forward.
Thank you very much, Julian. I'm just going to pause the presentation for a second to make sure we're all right for sharing the wonderful film clips we're going to show you in a minute. Yes, we're fine. I popped in the slide about training that's coming soon or now, and those will all be on the website, on the new website. So you can look through those to see you know, if anything interests you, and please do share it with your friends and connections as well. Just a quick moment to say that we have been seeing an increase in, you know, bespoke training. We always do that by arrangement, whether it's on, you know, for older people or younger people or you know, porters, teachers, or what you know, whoever wants it. But just to let you know that's going on, because I haven't given you much detail about that before. And this week we've been continuing with a series of training for teachers in Denbighshire and education professionals in Swansea. This is exciting. We are working with Down Syndrome International, who you probably know produced the guidelines last year, which I was a co-author on. Very proud to be so. From August this year, for a year, we're going to be working on a 12-month campaign to help embed the recommendations and principles of inclusive education as laid out in that document into education settings in the UK. So we'll have a real push trying to get at all levels, from teacher training, to try and move that forward. Okay, that's exciting. And now I'd like to hand over to Chris. Sorry, Chris, I'm moving the slides on.
That's okay, Jill. So these are just a quick little update. As I'm sure many of you know, as we enter Pride Month this year, we just wanted to highlight some of the important recent work that the DSA has done to support people who have Down syndrome in understanding more about sexuality and sexual expression. So if you just move on to the next slide, Jill. So we created the Adult Relationships and Sex Trainers Guide to support parents, carers and professionals in having those discussions around sexuality and sexual expression. The resources take on board principles of the general learning profile with built-in repetition. Within the trainer's guide, that includes bespoke illustrations, easy read workbooks and activities. Now, going forward, the training sessions actually work in a sort of an 8-week format, and they cover many important topics such as important aspects of good relationships, such as rights, consent, privacy and boundaries, sexual acts, of course, sexuality, gender and safe sex, relationships, online safety and self-esteem. And so the question is, why did we do it? Simply put, the DSA wants to support people who have Down syndrome who identify as LGBTQI, and those individuals have a right of freedom of sexuality and sexual expression. And as we celebrate Pride Month, this is just a small reminder of the work and the useful resources that we have available to support people who have Down syndrome. And yeah, hopefully, if you want to find out more information, please feel free to, as mentioned, visit our website, as we have all of our resources available online.
Thank you, Chris. And now to Our Voice. I'll hand over to Robin.
I'm just going to hand over to Lindsay. If you could turn your camera on, Lindsay. The microphone. So, yeah.
Morning.
Morning.
Okay, next Friday, the 18th of June, Our Voice will be presenting the DSA updates. We would like to invite everyone to join us. We will be sharing our stories, updates and changes to life, as well as telling you about the group's plans for the future and about being independent. So we hope you will all come along and find out more about us. Thank you.
Thank you, Lindsay.
Thank you, Lindsay. Yeah. Okay, Our Voice have interviewed well-known actor Daniel Laurie. It's now available up on our YouTube channels, and we're just going to select a few parts to show you of this wonderful interview.
Hi, Daniel.
Hey, I'm Angus. What's up?
Right, my name is Angus from the DSA voice team, and I am a professional actor as well. Can you please introduce yourself and tell us a bit about yourself?
Sure thing. My name is Daniel Laurie. I am also an actor like you. I am in a BBC TV show called The Midwife, as well as some other shows, like, for example, Vera, that's up in Newcastle, and also Croatia for the Amazon Prime version of The Dark Tower. And
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to move forward. It's a long but fascinating film. I'm going to move forward so you can hear the discussion between Angus and Daniel.
It's a very good tip there for people. I say thank you so much for talking to us today, and it's a privilege. Have a nice time talking to you, and I'm glad I do the interview with you because I am a huge fan of you, Daniel.
Ah, well, thank you so much, Angus.
And also, we call the midwife, Vera, that sort of thing. But you didn't know this, Daniel. I went to Northumberland, to Newcastle.
Ah, well, thanks, man. Yeah. Well,
And it's the place is fantastic, isn't it?
True. Yes, Angus. You know, Angus, mate, I really like you, man. Well, just as a nice friend and also a nice interviewer, and you speak a very nice, beautiful, and wonderful questions. So, thanks to you, actually.
You're welcome.
Super. And now to Alison.
Hi everyone, what a great interview. I was privileged to support Angus to get his current job, and he's doing very well in his current role. So just a very brief update from me. Great to let you know that we've got lots of employers showing interest in WorkFit, and a number of them registering over the last couple of months, which is really positive news. We also had a young lady called Hannah start a new job this week, and just this morning I've received a lovely video of Hannah doing her job. It was a little bit late to include today, but I'm sure we might be able to slip it into next week's update, and you can see her in action doing her job. WorkFit will be having another online event on the 22nd of July, and we'll be publicising that in the coming weeks. So if you'd like to join us for that WorkFit event and hear from candidates and families and employers about what's going on in the world of work, we'd be delighted to see you. If you want to see Hannah's video, it's on our WorkFit Twitter feed, which is DS WorkFit. Feel free to go on there and have a look. And as I say, we'll hopefully share it next week. So that's it from me for this week. Lovely to see you all, and have a great weekend. Thanks, Jill.
Thank you, Alison. Now to Kate.
Hi, everyone. Good to be here. Thank you for coming along. I just wanted to remind people that our new website is now here and live and ready for you to explore. It's a new starting point for us, and we will be developing it in the future. We've already got a second stage in progress, but we really want to hear your feedback on the new site to help us develop it going forward. So there's a short survey online that you can take to let us know what you think. It only should take 3 minutes of your time. It's very short. I'll pop the link in the Q&A, or you'll find it on the homepage of the website. Next slide, please. So the bank holiday Sunday, I don't know if you're Call the Midwives fans, but it was a very special final episode, and one of the storylines featured a gorgeous little baby called, the character was called Robert, and we were privileged to be involved in the casting of baby Robert, and there's a couple of links here. Again, I'll put them in the Q&A to some online Radio Times articles. One where baby Nate, who played Robert, and his family talks about baby, what it was like, and one where Carol, talks about the sort of takes a look at the historic perspectives of the show, because obviously it was set 3 years before the DSA was founded, so it was quite an interesting chance to think about some of those issues. And the next slide, please, Jill. And we were really lucky that Nate and his family took some time to do a little video for us. And we just thought we'd close off today's update with that for you.
Hi, we're the Court family. I'm Matt.
I'm Charlotte.
And this is Zach.
And this is Nate. Nate is 7 months old, loves blowing raspberries, eating his feet, rolling over, and generally bossing everybody about.
Nate's a big fan of his brother as well. If you ever want to get a smile out of Nate, you've just got to stick him in front of Zach. We had a postnatal diagnosis of Down syndrome when Nate was born. To say it was a shock was a bit of an understatement. It was difficult, but I think we gathered that it's okay to feel whatever you're feeling.
It was hard too, wasn't it, because of COVID, and Zach wasn't allowed to meet Nate for the 9 days that he was in hospital. It was only one parent to a bed, and just made everything harder. We felt we couldn't. Yeah, really sad. Felt we couldn't process emotion because we couldn't be a family unit. It was a shock.
I think we both handled it quite differently as parents, and it was just interesting to have that different aspect when we're both looking at it. Like, you're quite short-term focused, aren't you?
Yeah, I wanted to know how we could feed him. Was he allowed to go swimming? Could he do every baby class that I'd done with Zach? Right now, how did I need to look after my baby to make sure that he was safe? And
triple.
Yeah, really. You were different, weren't you?
I went quite long term, so I was thinking like, how's Nate going to develop as he gets older? Is he going to have issues when he goes to school? Like, will he ever get a job? And probably thinking way too long, but between the two of us, we had a good balance between looking at the priorities. But I think the important thing is just to know that as a parent, it's okay to feel what you feel. There's no right and wrong emotions as to how you process the information, but everything's working out fine. Like, everything that we thought at the start that was a trouble just doesn't appear to be now, and I think that was our lack of education at the time.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think opinions are so outdated, aren't they? We immediately thought, what have we done?
Yeah, what's happened?
What's happened? What has our life become? But we brought home a baby, and he's a baby.
Yeah.
Everything that we need to learn to make sure that Nate is safe and, does everything that he needs to in his own time, we'll just learn to do.
As a family, yeah, and Nate's future may well be different. We're not naive enough to think that things will be atypical, but what lifestyle it is, like, you don't know your own future, let alone anything else. So I think it's important to work with what's in front of us right now and just enjoy being a family. But I mean, one of my biggest concerns was about whether or not Nate would get a job, and after 3 months, he was asked to be on Call the Midwife, and it was a fantastic opportunity for us as a family. And I think that was Nate's little message to say to me, don't worry, Dad, I've got this, like, I've got a job. And
it was really exciting.
What a day it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was surprised too.
Yeah. No, it was really exciting. I'm a massive fan of the show. It was really exciting to be on set. Nate was treated with so much respect, and I was kind of annoyed to leave set because people stopped offering us drinks every second of, do you need anything, can we do this for you? It was, I wanted to take all the help home with me.
Yeah, it's a lovely experience, wasn't it? It was such a pleasure to be involved with, and literally counting down the days to the episode on Sunday. So
yeah, it's really exciting, and we're really proud.
Yeah, super proud. Are you looking forward to seeing your brother on TV on Sunday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he going to be a superstar?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, is that you?
Because he feels like all rolling over the time.
He wasn't rolling at the time. He was a teeny tiny baby, wasn't he?
Oh,
It feels like moving, blowing raspberries. Yeah.
That'd be funny, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and everybody will be like,
yeah, we're really excited for Sunday, aren't we?
You said bye, Nate.
You say bye-bye.
Well done.
bye-bye.
Thank you so much to baby Nate, his brother, and mum and dad. That was great. Now I'm going to look at the questions to see what we have or haven't answered. There's one question which is a complex question about policy and working with government, and I won't address that here, but we'll come back to you separately. You might have noticed that Carol's not here today. She wasn't able to be here, but she will be back next week when we're having our really splendid update that's going to be led by members of Our Voice. There's a question from about, does the Disabled Children's Champion relate to Wales? Julian, would you like to answer that?
Yes, so obviously Wales has Welsh MPs in addition to members of the Senedd, so it would particularly be targeted at Welsh MPs, but it could also be shared with members of the Welsh Senedd as well.
Okay, that's great. And there's another question which is going back to a part that was missed, an important part about younger teenagers and children having Pfizer vaccinations. And this will be going up on YouTube very quickly, so you're welcome to watch it or to just call us. But yes, we're pushing, we're advocating for that to happen as soon as possible, now that it's been shown to be safe. Okay, well, I hope I haven't missed anything out there, and I'd like to say a very big thank you from everybody here and everybody who's joined us. And please share with all your friends and contacts that next week members of Our Voice will be leading the update. Thank you very much.